Hi Stampers, it's Nancy from stampandshout.com. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want to share a couple of cards and tags that I made using Stampin Ups Be Jolly stamp set and a few other supplies that we'll talk about as I go along. I remember when I was young, I used to love getting Santa Claus cards and little gifts and just ornaments with Santa Claus. So he's always been one of my favorite Christmas symbols. And so this set has Santa and the Christmas tree and the little sleigh with the little presents. So let me show you what we're going to make. I have a couple of tags here, quick and easy. And on the back I stamped the to and from. And I have a little fun fold card here. I love the way that looks when it opens up. It's just very pretty. And then I have this one here. So this one we're going to do first, and it's using the masking technique. So we're going to color it in with markers, and I'm using this pretty designer series paper. It's called Heartwarming Hugs. So any questions that you have, go ahead and type them in, and I'll be sure to answer them. If not live, I will go back and answer them later. Also, there's some information here. My website is stampandshout.com, so I'll have information about these projects on my blog tomorrow, and that's how you find it. If you shop with me, that's my host code. And if you shop with me between now and Thursday, I will send you the make and takes so you can make these little projects yourself. So let's go ahead and start with this one. I'm using a Whisper White card base that is 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. And I have two matte pieces in real red that are 5 1/4 by 4, one for the inside and one for the front. On the inside I have a stamping piece that's white, that's 5 inches by 3 3/4. And then I have a piece of designer series paper that's that Heartwarming Hugs. It's a pack of 12 by 12 double-sided paper. So I'm going to use this side. I love it. It's got the pretty greens and the reds in there. And then I have a piece of white that I die cut with the stitched rectangle. So I just want to show you that. And that will give us that little bit of stitching. Oh, mine's sticking a little bit. I'm going to have to cut mine out. So I thought I'd show you what the die looks like. I'm having a little bit of trouble breaking it away. I think one of my cutting plates was a little bit warped, so it didn't cut out perfectly the first time, but it is fine. All good. So let's see here. First thing, let's do the simple stuff. We'll go ahead and attach that pretty piece of designer series paper to our matte piece. Both sides are very pretty with this card, so when you're making this, you can choose which side of that pretty paper you want to have facing up. But I like this because it has a little bit of the red and a little bit of the greens. And as you can see, that little die cut there, I forgot to mention, that is from the Scalloped Contours die set, and I used this large piece right there. So it cuts out that pretty scalloped edge, and that's going to go on the front of our card. So we'll get this stuff done, and then we'll do some stamping. So if you're watching me live, go ahead and say hi. And if you're watching me on replay, type in replay. Let me know where you're from. Okay, so that's that. And then we'll do the inside in a little bit. But first, let's do this fun stamping with the masking technique. So I'm going to bring in my Santa stamp and my Memento ink, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp my Santa first. I'm going to stamp him off to the right of this piece, this rectangle piece. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and stamp the little sled with the presents. I'm going to stamp that off to the right here. And now I'm going to bring the Christmas tree in, but like I said, we need to mask this off So what I did earlier was I stamped just on a Post-it note the Santa and the sleigh, and I just cut away the piece that I needed. I could cut the whole thing out, but I didn't have to, so I fussy cut the little edge, and I'm going to go ahead and stick Santa there, and then my sleigh, I'm going to go ahead and cover up what we stamped with that Post-it note. Now I'm going to ink up the Christmas tree, and I'm going to stamp right over these pieces, and that's going to make the tree look like it is behind everything. So I'm just kind of centering it where I think I want it to be. Okay, now we can take off the sticky part. And now our tree looks like it's set there in the background. And we're going to color that in with our markers, but first, before I start coloring, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment, which is Be Jolly. I'm going to stamp that in the memento. And I'm just stamping it first in case I make a boo-boo. I don't want to color the whole thing in. And then stamp Be Jolly and make a mistake and have to color it all over again. So this is going to go on the front of our card, but first we're going to color it in. So I'm going to bring in my markers, and I'm using lots of different colors. Real red is the first one, light real red, and I'll go ahead and color in Santa's hat and his little pants and suit. So I'm just kind of outlining it first, and then I'm going to fill it in. So his little sleeves are red, and his little jacket. So these projects, we're going to color a couple in with markers, and then I have the tag I'm going to color in with my ink pads. So I want to show you that, how to do that. And Stampin' Up! Is having a sale starting tomorrow on ink pads, so I thought that would be a good little thing to share with you. In case you're going to buy some new stamp pads, I'm going to show you how you can color in using your stamp pads. So let's see, what else do I want? I think I'll color this one in. I'm just using all my red right now. Since I have that marker out, color this bow in. Color the stripes of this package. And then I'll color in that little heart. And what else? Let's see, let's do the sled, whatever this piece is called on the sled. It's not the runner. I'm going to color this one in red. And let's go ahead and bring in the light smoky gray, and we'll color in this little runner here. Kind of make it look silver. And then I think I'll outline these little ruffles on Santa's beard. And let's see, let's bring in some, what is this one? Granny Apple Green. And I think I'll color the tree in with that. So any green that you have will work well with this. Pear Pizzazz works good. I think I'll go around these ornaments with the small end of the tip so I don't get too close to those ornaments. So down here, I'm just imagining that the tree would fill in this little area right here. I think I'll just color the base in too. Just make it look like that tree is really full in the background. And let's see what else. I'll color the stripes of this present in. And let's see, we'll color that package in. What do I have here? Light Mango Melody. So we'll color this package in like this. And we'll color in some of the ornaments. And let's see, gotta color his, I think I'll bring that red back in and do a few little dots on this package, just to bring in some more red. Then, let's see, for his boots, I think, I don't have the black Stampin' Blend, but I do have this little marker, the Stampin' Up marker, and I'm going to color those, his gloves and his shoes and his belt in with this marker. And I'm going to bring that mango back in and color his belt buckle. Looks kind of gold. A little bit of red I want to fill in right here, under his belt, right there. And for his face, let's see, what do I have? I have the light petal pink. So we'll color his ears and his face in. Maybe his mouth, give him a little color on his mouth. And that's it for the coloring. So I'm going to go ahead and put that right in the front. Oh, that looks so cute, you guys. Put that right in the front. So yeah, the scalloped contour dies, which cut that big piece. It's so pretty. I really, really like that set of dies because I use it a lot. Now I could have used that same set for this white rectangle, but I'm going to use it in my other cards and you'll see how that looks. I want to bring in some red rhinestones before I forget. Seems like whenever I do a live video, sometimes I forget to do my embellishments. So I'm going to put a few on here and it really just makes the card pop. If I can get them off. I'm just going to put 3 of them. There we go. So that's the front of the card. And then for inside, let me see, what do I have here? I am going to bring in the stamp that says a merry hello. And doesn't Santa just look like he is saying a merry hello? So that's a really cute little sentiment to go with this stamp set. And then I've got the little birdie, who is just adorable. And I think we'll just put him right there. And I'm going to give him just a little red hat. And color in his beak. And I think, let me see, did I do more on him? Oh, I colored him in green. Well, let's do that too. We'll color him in green, the granny apple green. So that's kind of tying all the colors together. Cute, cute. So then we'll just glue this onto the mat piece. And put this on the middle, inside of our card. And there you go, first project done. So what do you think? Isn't that cute? I love that designer series paper with that scalloped cutout. It really makes the card look pretty with the little sequins or the little rhinestones. And there you go. Cute, cute. I like that one. All right, let's make a tag. How about that? So let's see here. So here's my two little tags. Both same concept. I already did the cutting out. This is with the Taylor tag. So I cut one in Granny Apple Green, and then I went ahead and I cut one in the heavy white cardstock. And we're just going to go ahead and glue those two together. I did that just to give it a little bit more support. So I'm going to go ahead and put these two together like that. Punch that little dot out there. And I have the to and from stamp somewhere close by. I'm pretty sure I do. Oh, it's still in my box. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that, and I'll do that in Memento. And let's see, I have a strip here. I'm going to stamp Be Jolly. I'm going to cut this down after. Okay, and then somewhere, oh, another piece I cut out with that tailor-made tags are these little tag support pieces. They come out like that. And I'm just going to glue that on right there on the top, and it just adds a little bit of support for when you tie your ribbon, and if you do it in a contrasting color, which I'm putting some glue on here right now, it really makes it kind of pretty and just adds a little bit more detail to it, like that. Then I have a piece of designer series paper. This is about 5/8 of an inch by 1 3/4 inches, and I'm going to put that right at the bottom of the tag. This paper is from the Patterned Party designer series paper, which is a great deal. It's a hostess gift. It's at the very back of the catalog. So I'm going to take these two pieces, this one piece, and cut it into two pieces. I'll cut the bottom first. This is going to go on the top of our tag. So we don't need all of this. And Santa. So here is, we're going to color this in with our stamp pads. So let me show you what I mean by that. So I got real red here, and I'm going to bring in a stamping block, and I'm just going to put some red ink on there. Then I'm going to bring in my blender pen, and you always want to make sure it's clean, but I can see this has red on it, so it's okay to go ahead and continue using the red ink. So I'm just getting it on my little pen here, and I'm just going to color in with my blender pen. So if you don't have the Stampin' Blend markers that I used on our first card, you definitely can use the ink in your stamp pads and color in anything you need. Works great. So let me just put a little bit more ink on my stamp block. And what I discovered, and you'll see too when you're coloring, is once you get the base of the color down there, just go back over it again and it kind of blends in any lines you might have. So I think you get the idea. So I'm going to color in his hat. Got a little blob there. So you can make it darker if you have to. Just go back over it again. And let's see here. Let's just color in his boots and his belt so you can get a better idea of what this is going to look like. His gloves. So I did this for both the Santa Claus on my tag and for the little Christmas tree. And the ornaments. A little bit of red right here. And what else do I have in there? Let's see. That's green. I used it before for green. I'm going to bring in a little bit of yellow for his belt. And his face, same thing. I would color him in with the Petal Pink ink and color his face in lightly. And I'd finish his glove, and then I fussy cut him out, and I fussy cut the tree out. There are no dies for the stamp set, but fussy cutting doesn't take long, so it's quite easy. But let's see here, I should have, thought I had one already done, and I do. So I did this ahead of time so you didn't have to watch me or wait for me to cut them out. So I have it all done. And I'm going to bring in my dimensions, my dimensionals, and I'm going to pop Santa up on this tag. And then we'll put our sentiment, Be Jolly. Oop, can't get this one off. There we go. So we're going to put Santa right there. And I'm just going to glue Be Jolly. Uh-oh, doggy's in my room and he wants out. Hang on. And take a little piece of the gingham black and white ribbon. Like that. And kind of tie a little bow on here. I'm going to bring this in to hold it down. And we're going to have a tag that is just so pretty. I'll play with my bow a little bit more. It's a little bit too big, but I think you get the idea. Let's flip it around here. It wants to flip, so we're going to let it flip. And there you go. I think I'll make that a little bit smaller. And there's the Christmas tree one. So that in the back is the white. Isn't that pretty? And I just like to put these right on my presents. I don't try to hang them on there flopping around. You could do that too. You could put a little thread on here and attach it to a bigger bow, but they're just really pretty to plop on your presents, and they're just gorgeous that way. So that's how I like to do it. And I think I'm going to let the dog out of my room and see what happens, but let me bring in the supplies for this card. Hang on. Henry, you okay? Where'd you go? Hey, you're okay. Good boy. All right, so this is a fancy fold. A real simple fancy fold. Got a piece of basic white, and it's 8.5 by 5.5. I scored it at 4 1/4, and I also scored it at 2 1/8. So I'm going to fold it in half just like we normally do. And then this piece I am going to fold back. That's going to make our little front flap like that. Then I have a piece of real red that's 5 1/4 by 4. That's going to be my matte piece. And then I cut with that scalloped contour a piece of white. And as I just wanted to show you that you just have to pop out all these little pieces, and that's what you end up with. Okay, I gotta let the dog out. Come on. Uh-oh. I think it's getting close to dinner time for all the animals, and they're starting to parade around to let me know to hurry up. So let's do the inside first. And all I did on this was, again, I did the Merry Hello, which I really like that sentiment. It's not something I've used a lot in the past, but I like that. It's kind of nice, just kind of generic. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first. I'm going to kind of stamp it a little bit over. Whoop, got to do that over. A little bit to the left, because we're going to have this little piece covering it up like that. But you can be, as long as you don't go too far over to the right, you're going to be okay. So I'm going to do that. And I'm also going to do my little birdie. And all I'm going to do on this bird, I'm going to leave him white, but I am going to color in his hat. And I'm going to color in his beak. Like that. Okay, so these two are going to be glued together. For the front, oh, you know what I have to do? I think I am going to, since this dog is barking and I need a few more pieces, I'm going to stop this video now, but I will come back and make this card with you guys again. I do need a piece of paper that I need to cut out, and I can tell I'm not going to have enough time with my little puppy dog barking and playing, but we did get our tags done. And again, we did the white on the back to add that support in there. We colored them in with our ink pads instead of the markers, just a personal preference, whatever you like. And then we have this card here. Don't forget your little rhinestones, really adds a lot. And then we have this fancy fold card, which I will come back and make with you guys very shortly. So make sure you are a subscriber to my YouTube channel. Click that little notification bell. That way, whenever I go live or do a new video, you'll be notified. Leave any questions or comments below. And thank you so much for being here. Don't be shy. Stamp and shout.